Do you honestly think Bitcoin's move to 123K was the bull run? What? Do you think it's over? Well, I got news for you. That was just a bark at the moon. A signal that the crazy train to 500K in the next 12 months is about to leave the station. Bitcoin is right on schedule, and it's about to be unleashed as a medium of exchange thanks to Jack Dorsey in Square, who also just happened to enter the S&P 500.
We've got Block, formerly known as Square. They're joining the S&P 500 before today's opening bell. It's been on quite a run since folks learned of that. It's replacing Hess in the benchmark index after Hess was acquired by Chevron.
We are literally now on a crazy train toward Bitcoin as everyday money. And at the same time, we have never been closer to ending the Fed. Do you understand what is happening? Adam Back just outstacked the president. Sit down, strap in, and buckle up those chin straps because we're ending the Fed and going to $1 million, and we're doing it for Ozzy. Send it!
This is just the start of this bull run. This is a pretty bold statement. How would you back it up?
Well, if you break down the inflation rate, the real inflation rate, and you peg it to something real like eggs, you get 11% annually. So if you apply that to the previous all-time high in 2021, that takes us to somewhere around 101K. So, that's kind of the floor. That's just keeping up with inflation. That's Bitcoin just keeping up with inflation. So 120K, 130K, that means you're beating inflation by 20% over a 4-year period or 30% over a 4-year period, which is not really spectacular. So I think we have a lot of room to run. The bull market has legs. And I think we can go probably anywhere up to 500,000 to 1 million in the next 12 months, because this is also a delayed market movement too. If you think about it, we should have ran already. We should already have been at 200,000 a coin, and we're still at 120.
Oh, but not for long. And big news for Bitcoin adoption on Main Street. Merchants across America can now accept instant Bitcoin payments thanks to the Lightning Network. With the same point-of-sale tech they're already using. No new hardware, no friction, just zap. Paid in sats or dollars, your choice. That means over 4 million merchants will soon be able to take Bitcoin like it's just another payment method, but without the fraud, chargebacks, or 3-day settlement headaches. And here's the cherry on top we showed you in the intro. Block, Jack Dorsey's Bitcoin-first company behind Square, is officially joining the S&P 500. That's right, Bitcoin infrastructure is literally entering the index that tracks the American economy. Hey, Fiat bros, y'all better buckle up.
All you have to do is look at the first page of the white paper, which I encourage everyone to do, which is it only sought out to solve one problem, which is verifying that there's no double spending. You're not spending twice without having to rely upon a third party. Like, it literally is just, how do we transmit money without having to rely on a Visa or MasterCard or a bank to tell us that this was not a double transaction. That was it. That was the innovation. And the title of the white paper is Electronic Peer-to-Peer Cash. Like, that was the dream. That was the intention. It was supposed to be a way to transmit money, protocol for the internet to transmit money anywhere without a Visa or MasterCard or a bank or any gatekeeper whatsoever. And it's become, and it's not like, I think the true Bitcoiner's dream is still that it's money, but it's become this like digital gold narrative, which I think is important because, like, if it's valuable, more people want to work on it. And you can think of Bitcoin like you would an equity or an asset. And if I make it better, then that asset goes up and I can, convert it to whatever I need or just, give it to merchants to pay for food for my family, anything I need to do until it's widely, dramatically accepted. But it all goes back to that core concept of, like, the internet needs a native currency. It needs an open protocol for money transmission. Otherwise, we're reliant upon a Visa, a MasterCard, a Stripe, a Square, all these companies, and you have to get permission from them to use them. And I just don't think that's fair for something as fundamental as money. And I also don't think it's fair for something fundamental as speech, which is where Nostr comes in.
Speaking of fiat bros, you guys ever wonder what Thomas Jefferson would think if he saw Clown World today?
$4? Wasn't this $3 yesterday? Withdrawal fee? Why must I pay to access my own money?
I just graduated with $120,000 in student debt.
Debt for learning. What kind of sicko society is this?
The Fed injects another $1 trillion into the economy.
You can't just print it. That's not money. That's madness.
Thomas Jefferson, is that you?
Why the would you take the dollar off the gold standard? I worked so hard for us to have hard money.
Nothing stops this train. How do I get on that train?
Well, there you go. The legend knows there's no stopping this train, and so does our orange president of today. Probably why he's trying to front run his own strategic Bitcoin reserve, becoming the 5th largest Bitcoin treasury company, well, for like 10 minutes, until Adam Back said, "Hold my beer, Mr. President," and stacked 30,000 Bitcoin. Yeah, they call him Adam Spack. He is the one who backs everything. And they're not stopping at 30,000 Bitcoin. They've only just begun.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that there are going to be just a couple winners here. I think that BSTR will be one of the winners. We're showing up with a bulldozer and a permit to clear cut Bitcoin. We're going to, open up in the 4th spot, and we think that we'll very quickly slingshot into number 2. That's our mission. We're really trying to create a fortress-like environment for our Bitcoin, and really trying to position ourselves as the Berkshire Hathaway of the Bitcoin ecosystem.
What do you mean by that? Like, do you mean by going and then buying other companies that are in the space and running them yourself the way that Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway has done?
Yeah, I think there's a great arbitrage here. We can issue debt at 1%. We can buy Bitcoin. And then, as Bitcoin appreciates, we naturally de-lever our balance sheet. So I think that's a really unique capability that Bitcoin treasuries have access to that other companies don't. I think that you'll see over time that you can build a treasury that will become the preferred counterparty to a lot of the financial companies out there. So if you think about who do you want to face as a finance company or as a bank, if you need a Bitcoin revolver, we want to make sure that BSTR is the counterparty of choice.
You have like 30 seconds left here, but this was the first press release I've ever read with the word OG in it, right? You said that the commitments that have come in were from longtime Bitcoin OGs. Who are they?
Adam Back is probably the OG of the OGs. He is the person that Satoshi reached out to when he wanted to cite Adam's work for the hash cash. As you guys know, the proof of work algorithms that secure the Bitcoin blockchain. So we have kind of the original patient zero of the Bitcoin ecosystem. So we're very excited about what we're building. We think that we got kind of unique access to OGs in the space, and we can unlock Bitcoin that's not currently on exchanges at in very large quantities.
Sean, come back. That's Sean Bill, Chief Investment Officer at Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company. Certainly.
And it really sounds like they're not around. And I can guarantee Adam Back only has one chair in his house and he's all in on it. Now I'm asking you, are you all in on the chair?
But when you go all in on something, I would say that does take conviction. Now your conviction might be.
How many chairs are you sitting on right now?
One.
Are you all in on the chair?
I am all in on the chair.
Like the point really is you put on one pair of glasses, you've got one pair of AirPods right now. You're looking at me through one screen. You're using one microphone. That's a one microphone. Like, you trust it? Is that conviction? Seems kind of scary. Why don't you diversify? Why don't you use 10 microphones? The point really is things in your life. Do you drive in 10 cars at the same time or one car at one time? Do you drive down one street? Aren't you afraid that you're driving down one street? Do you take a different way? So my point really is, if you're you get on one airplane, are you convicted? You put your entire family on the one airplane, aren't you afraid? Ultimately, if you're a rational individual, when you use knives, do you have copper knives, wooden knives, steel knives, aluminum knives, rubber band knives, diamond knives, because you're afraid to commit to the right knife. It's a tool.
Well, if you're all in on this chair, it's probably time to get your money out now. Just days after being referred to the DOJ for criminal charges of perjury, Jerome Powell spoke yesterday. What went down? Are we ending the Fed? We're about to bring it home, but before we do, look at our likes.
3 or 4 times, maybe. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp while we take a moment to recognize our sponsors powering this show over at the Bitcoin Way. Let me make it simple. You either own Bitcoin or someone else does. And if you're new, head over to thebitcoinway.com and they'll walk you through it like it's kindergarten with Satoshi. From setting up your first wallet and node to so much more, no tech skills needed, the Bitcoin Way has got you covered. And if you want $1 million Bitcoin, you have to act like it. Self-custody is not optional. That is the revolution. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with the Bitcoin Way using that link in the show notes. My friends, are you lost and alone? Reading The Revolution, a Manifesto by the great Ron Paul, while being surrounded by normies who think Liz Warren has an IQ above 75? Well, our friends at the Orange Pill app got you covered. The Orange Pill app is the single largest repository of Bitcoin-only events in the world. Connect with over 16,000 other Bitcoiners in real life. Bitcoin is better with friends, and now you can zap them instantly all in one app. Hey, what are you waiting for? Download the Orange Pill app today, go hit a meetup, and start stacking friends who stack sats today.
Good morning to everyone, and welcome to the Federal Reserve Board. I'm very pleased, though not surprised, to see such great interest in the topic of today's conference, the integrated review of the capital framework for large banks. And I want to thank Vice Chair for Supervision Bowman for having the great idea of holding this event at the outset of her term. I'd also like to thank Fed staff for their tireless work in putting the conference together. So today, we'll hear the perspectives of industry veterans, academics, and current and former policymakers who are all well-versed in the operations of large banks and the main pillars of the capital framework. A great benefit of this conference is the chance to consider all elements of the capital framework in concert, rather than look at each in isolation. We need to ensure that all the different pieces of the capital framework work together effectively. Doing so will help maintain a safe, sound, and efficient banking system for the benefit of the people we serve. The U.S. bank capital framework includes risk-based capital requirements, leverage requirements, the surcharge for the largest and most complex banks, and the stress tests. We will discuss the status of each of those elements and the road ahead in a comprehensive manner today. As this audience will know well, we have proposals outstanding or in the works across all 4 areas. Our regulatory capital framework and all banking rules are implemented through supervision, an area where Vice Chair for Supervision Bowman brings deep experience as a former banker and state supervisor. As she has noted, we need to make sure that our supervisory practices focus on the critical areas that determine safety and soundness. We need our large banks to be well capitalized and to manage their key risks well. And we need large banks to be free to compete with one another, with non-bank financial institutions and with banks in other jurisdictions to provide capital and support economic growth. The Fed is a dynamic institution. We're open to hearing new ideas and feedback on how to improve the capital framework for large banks, and I look forward to hearing from today's participants. Thanks again to all of you for joining us today. Thank you.
Well, Jay Powell spoke. 2 minutes, no rate update, no word on the DOJ when we know Representative Anna Paulina Luna sent criminal referrals to the DOJ accusing Powell of perjury just days ago. Not a conspiracy theory, a real letter to the Attorney General. And we know Trump's been floating Powell's early removal. Calls for resignation, replacement shortlist, tweets from Fed insiders saying it's coming. Even Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent hinted that the process has begun. The DOJ hasn't announced charges. Trump isn't firing him yet. Powell isn't resigning yet. But the political heat is real and the silence deafening. Next key date, July 29th and 30th, the Fed's next FOMC meeting. If Powell is still in his seat by then, this probably blows over. If he's gone before that, today was the calm before the storm. And regardless, Powell is packing his bags in 8 months. And regardless, it looks like cuts are coming in 2025, with Trump's race to a full 3-point cut accelerating in 2026. We really haven't seen anything yet, and that's why the next 12 months could be some of the most insane we've ever seen. Makes you wonder, what happens after we hit 1 million?
People who look at this and are saying, oh, well, once it gets to 1 million, I'm going to sell and I'm going to take some massive, returns. They don't. What they're really saying is they have no clue what's actually playing out here. Because if this goes to 1 million, it's going to 10 million, it's going to 100 million, it's going to look like a Zimbabwe note of 100 trillion units. And that's what I think. If you think it's just going to go up to 500,000 and then it's going to kind of stop there, and that's kind of like where it ends, and like that's the end of Bitcoin. It's now, stabilized at 500,000. You really do not understand like what's playing out here. And I think the higher that you go like that, the more aggressive the bid is actually going to get, and kind of get away from legacy policymakers and people controlling currencies, fiat currencies as we know them. Now, when does that happen? I don't know when that happens. I don't know if it's this cycle, next cycle, or whatever. I don't know. But people that are suggesting that Bitcoin is going to have smaller and smaller returns into the future, I think are getting duped a little bit as to like what kind of plays out in the middle of that S curve. I think that's what's happening with those kind of ideas and comments.
We're going to 1 million for Ozzy. Damn it. I don't know if you've truly experienced life until running out of a tunnel on Friday night to absolutely annihilate someone with Crazy Train blaring through the speakers. Absolutely nothing like it. Thanks for everything, Ozzy, you legend. Oh, crap. It's only 4 months until Mining Disrupt 2025. This is gonna be wild. The biggest Bitcoin mining conference and expo in the world is heading to Dallas, Texas, November 11th through the 13th. Dennis Porter, Samson Mao, Lawrence Lepard, and more are gathering to send it. Mining Disrupt. This is where the Bitcoin mining elite converge. Deals are made, innovations unveiled, and the future is forged. If you're serious about mining, you can't afford to miss this. Be there or be left behind. Grab those tickets today. Come see Simply Bitcoin on the news desk. And don't forget to use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. There will be no more tears in Valhalla. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp by sharing the Sound Money Gospel. Set those notifications for the best in Bitcoin news delivered to you daily. Love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.